Hi, so today I'm going to talk to you about how our team plans for virtual learning and how my partner teacher and I specifically plan for reading for the fourth graders. And I'm going to show you for our plans for after winter break. So right now I'm working on the first week, and I'm going to just walk us through together the second week after plan, which is actually the 20th week because we do every other week. So I'm going to just explain a little bit first, and then I'll show you how I plan. So right here is the reading plans, and we have like a whole group reading, then small group readings, then there's a math lesson. That's someone else plans. There's whole group math on Tuesdays, small group math, and then a whole group reading. And then Wednesday is like a lesson launch and meeting day. And Thursday and Friday, repeat Monday and Tuesday, but obviously different content or continuing the strategies from the days before. So we have all that those lesson plans shared with each other, and then we post any assignments that need to be posted. We link them all down here. So I'm working on week 20. This is my document of it. So this is like my rough draft, and then I'll share it to the team one later. So I'm working on planning reading. So I'll just fill in the yellow ones. So for reading, the first thing I would do is Mondays, I always start, my partner teacher and I always start by planning vocabulary and then the strategy in the anchor text. So for this week, we are going to be reading Writing Freedom, and the strategy for the week is compare and contrast. And then there's 10 vocabulary words, but we like to pick some target vocabulary words. So I'm going to put those in. So here we go. I'm going to just start planning, and you can watch, and I'll talk when I need to. So lesson 16, I can just look up here too and like copy some of this and oops. That's how it works sometimes. I'm going to copy this part right here. I'm going to choose my focus words. I'm going to unlink these because that was from the previous week. But I'll link in vocabulary practice from Quizlet, previous and other people's slides that they've created that people like to use with their classes. So I will link it, choose some vocabulary words. So I just have like the textbook here in front of me, and I'm choosing ones that I think kids would not know very well and could apply. So reputation, I think, is one that would be good. Situation. Escorted. And 3 to 4 is what I like to choose. I'm going to choose one more. Think about it for a second. Satisfied. I want to think about words that like they would use or hear. So those are words I think they would use and hear. So I will go on Quizlet and find this lesson. Usually I could just go to Quizlet and search for it. So this is lesson 16. And it's only 10 terms, so I would need to find with 10 terms. I like to share the one with 10 terms. And then you can make a copy of the Quizlet too and edit it. So I might open this one and look down here for the vocabulary words. So here's all the vocabulary words. And I'm going to just double check to see they have the right ones. Escorted is one, yes, swell is one, relied is one, reputation is one, worthy and churning are them, situation, deserve, defend and satisfy. All of those are right. So those look good to me. Now what I could do is make a copy right here And I don't want to upgrade. When I logged in, I can, oh, did they change these? Customize? Okay, so what happened was they have sets that are for like advanced features. So this set has advanced features, so I can't customize it. So I have to go back and find a different set that will fit my needs. So I will just look for one and then I'll insert it. So I'm, again, just going to do the same thing. This one has 10 words. I'm going to check to make sure it has the correct words and definitions and pictures that I like. And then this one, I could customize. Let's see. Oh, yep. I hit customize. I do have a regular account, but not like an upgraded to teacher account. So I can just go through and edit these if I want. Escorted. Just checking over to see if I like the definitions. I want to keep them. The teacher's manual also has definitions in them too, if you want to look at those if you're using this curriculum. Okay, so I'm going to just create it. And then it pops up here. And I'm just going to copy the link and I'm going to put that in my lesson plans right here. So I don't need this anymore. So next thing I'm going to link in is the strategy. So I'm going to put strategy, compare, and contrast. There's a couple different strategies for this week that we could touch on, and we might do that in small group and things like that. But I want to pick one main focus strategy, especially because we're virtual learning right now. So I want to focus in on one thing at a time. So compare and contrast, I'm going to make it look pretty. And then I'm going to put in an anchor chart. So you could find one online. I'm sure there's plenty. I have my own anchor charts I've created, and I can link to those in the notes of this video. So I'm going to just type in compare. Actually, I could just go to my drive and figure it out better. I'm going to find it, everybody. Google Drive's been very slow for me today. Perfect day to do this video, right? Okay, there we go. Come on. It's loading. At the top, it's just spitting. Okay, so I'm going to go to my resources. I have reading anchor charts. And I'm going to find the one I want. Some activities too that I've created. Oh, here's compare and contrast. So I'm just going to get a shareable link for my team to use this one. If it'll let me. Because this is mine. All right, so I'm going to put that in. So I'm going to link in the anchor chart, and then I'm going to say the next thing is start reading the anchor text writing freedom. Okay. And then their assignment for that day is going to be to finish reading the anchor text. So finish the anchor text. This is where I have my independent work right here. So I have vocabulary practice, strategy, and start and introduce the anchor text. I should say start/introduce. And there we go. Then for small group, we have that day, we need to do something to practice the strategy. So I'm going to look at what I have for curriculum-wise. There's leveled readers that I can use. They're accessible through Think Central, so like you can display them on the computer if you're teaching virtually, or I have paper copies too, that if you're also teaching virtual, you could use the paper copies as well with the document camera. But it's nice to have options. All right, so there's the leveled readers. I'm going to put in here read, oops, I accidentally put caps lock, read leveled readers. And when I'm teaching this, I will look at that and be like, okay, I'm not going to use the same leveled reader for every group of kids. I'm going to maybe use the struggling readers book for my class, my group that needs a little bit more support. I might read the on-level book with a different group and the advanced book for another group. There's also an ELL book. You can see them all in your teacher's manual and online if you are using Journeys. So I have the leveled readers here. So I'm going to say read leveled readers and use the responding page in the back. In the back of these, the responding page has them do a compare and contrast. In the back of the book to practice comparing and contrasting. Okay, so that is Monday is done. So now I need a whole group activity for for Tuesday. So this is 30 minutes. So I need to find something that is 30 minutes to do with my whole group. So on Tuesday, I want to keep going with the strategy of compare and contrast. And I want to bring back in that anchor text because they just finished it as the assignment the day before. So at the beginning of reading, I want to review Writing Freedom, have kids summarize what happened. So what summarizing what happened, and then there's two characters in the story we can compare and contrast. So we're going to compare and contrast Charlie and James. So compare and contrast the characters Charlie and James. Oh, Charlie, I forgot the E in Charlie. Oh, it wants to spell like this in the book, Charlie and James. So they can, use Jamboard and make a Venn diagram. On Jamboard, or use this document. So I'm going to make right here, for where I said use this document, I'm going to make a Venn diagram that people can use to compare and contrast and link it in. So I'm going to just make myself a note, link in Venn diagram, and make a key. It's sometimes nice to have a key. You don't have to have one for everything, but I'll put that in there. The note, if I can think of a key quick, I will make one up. Might be nice to have. All right, so that will take a decent amount of time on Tuesday, and an extra thing could be review vocabulary. Extra review vocab. There you go. Wednesday, I might put down an explain assignment. I should go back and explain what the assignment was for Tuesday. So the assignment for Tuesday was just independent reading. We've been doing independent reading for 20 minutes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that is there. So the assignment for Wednesday, I actually linked it in beforehand because I just did, is comparing and contrasting dragons. And I have this assignment that I've created, and it has a passage about dragons, and then kids will drag and drop information about dragons in. So that is there. And then for Thursday, that is the next day I need an assignment for. So I'm going to look to see what we have in our curriculum for that. Okay, I'm still thinking about what to do for the Thursday activity in the morning. You can look back and see like what the other strategies are that you could incorporate, or if there's other strategies from past weeks you can pull. But as I think about it, I'm going to move to this small group because I have an idea for that. So sometimes for a small group, I like to give a couple different options, especially just even for myself, just like being able to differentiate for the needs of my students. I'm going to put some options. I'm going to say read passages to practice can't say practice right. Spelled that wrong a couple times. Practice fluency and to compare and contrast. Now I'm going to link some passages below. I have one here that is sharks. Sharks has Venn diagram. Has Venn diagram and Venn diagram, and it also has comprehension questions. That was real wrong. Until I'm a little tired. I'm also very pregnant, so that makes a difference too. So I'm going to link that in. I just put these down for extra for me. Copy that. And link that in there. I don't need this anymore, so I get to look at this whole thing. These LE slides are created by one of our teachers. I'm going to put them back on Monday. All right. So now I need to find some other options for passages. Will do so and link them in, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to make myself a little note, link in more passages. For finding passages, I would suggest like looking at your curriculum, looking at Teachers by Teachers has some great resources. Just make sure you're paying attention in terms of use. ReadWorks has great resources as well. And there's a lot of other platforms online that has good articles that you could use for comparing and contrasting as well. So like News ELA, it has some stuff too that might be good. So you can always look and find some passages that way to connect for your students. I know a lot of us over time collect a lot of resources. I have a ton, and my big thing is just making sure I label them so I know what I'm looking for. All right, I'm going to just finish up with the last two whole groups. So I need a whole group for Thursday and a whole group for Friday. So looking at this for Thursday, I'm thinking there's a couple things I'm going to put in as options. And people can like start with the first one. If they have extra time, they can add in the second. So the first thing would be like, there's a paired text to go with our anchor text in our curriculum. So I'm going to put that in here. And it's a historical fiction. So I'm going to say read Spindletop. That's what it's called, the text. And it's an informational text, but it has historical information in it. So read Spindletop. And then I'm going to look at Spindletop quick and see what it has, like in the teacher's manual. Because usually there's like questions to stop and ask the kids. Gotta find what the questions are. Oh yeah, there's some comparing and contrast questions. So I can say, use the questions in the teacher's edition. And then it has them. Yep. Doesn't look like anything they needed Venn diagrams for. So compare and contrast. They can use those. And then another thing that would be kind of cool to touch on this week is the other strategy was like personification. So it'd be kind of fun to like introduce personification. So introduce personification. And for this, I'll probably go find either like an anchor chart or brain pot video to introduce it. So look for anchor chart and video. So we have brain pop. So we have a subscription, so I can use brain pop because usually they have great stuff. Junior does too, and I always like to do the quizzes with my kids. I think it's fun. And then all I have left is literacy on Friday. So there's a lot of things I can do for that. I will probably end up revisiting personification a little bit more, doing a fun activity with that, and maybe a activity with compare and contrast again as well. I'm going to do some searching on that. I'm also wondering about EdPuzzle. So if you don't know what EdPuzzle is, this is what it looks like. It's pretty awesome. So like if I go to my content, so like I have a YouTube video here and I put in questions, and this one was for sequencing, the strategy sequencing. And I have a teacher's account, and it's not, I have the free version. And you can just add in questions. So then when you check your gradebook up here, it'll tell you like who finished it, what percent of the questions they got right, and whatnot. And that's really good. So I'm wondering if there's like a compare and contrast EdPuzzle that I could use as an assignment. We've been using them as assignments because they can be done independently. And then I could always take one of these and make it into a group activity as well. So right now I have all my assignments done in LinkedIn. And then what I'll do is I'm going to link them here. And I like to make them as a force make a copy so that every teacher gets their own copy of it so that they're able to post it to their classroom and we don't end up editing each other. Or if we have something small we want to change, we have that ability to change it, like put our name on it or something like that. So that is what I have for planning this week. I just need to figure out Friday, which I'm going to find like a fun activity to wrap up Compare and Contrast. I hope this video was helpful.